Hey guys, this is Miss Smith again. We're going to be solving equations today. Now, an equation is a mathematical sentence that states two expressions, a number or a variable, are equal or equivalent. Okay, so equal means equivalent. What's another word for equal? Congruent. Okay, so equal, congruent, equivalent all mean the same thing. So an equation might look like this: 2x equals y, just like that's exactly like y equals mx plus b is an equation. Okay, and then also an equation we've learned is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, now what's common about all these? Well, they have a what? An equal sign. Okay, so an equation has to contain or consist of an equal sign. Alright, so how you can remember that is equal. Okay, we're just missing the L for equal. Okay, our goal for this video is to determine what variables mean, okay, or what the variable is, because a variable is a number, we just don't know it yet. So we need to see what the variable means, which means the same thing as solving, which means solve for x and y or any variable. Okay, any variable, you can use anything from A to Z, and I mean we've talked about this a million times. Okay, normally you use x and y though. Okay, next let's talk about opposites. What's the opposite of hot? Cold. What's the opposite of subtract? Add. Very good. Okay, I have Kira, Siva, Lucky, and Tyler with me. Okay, we're doing this during class, so we got at the band thing. Okay, anyway, multiplying. What's the opposite of multiply?
Divide.
Divide. Okay. What is the opposite of 5? Don't know?
10. Oh, no,
Negative 5. Okay, what's the opposite of 44?
Negative 44.
Negative 44, okay? So what we're going to be talking about today is doing the opposite. Okay, doing the opposite. That's the key word for today to solve an equation. Okay, next. Okay, the main idea is in order to figure out what a variable equals, we have to, let me get my notes. We have to isolate, okay? We have to isolate the variable. What does isolate mean? Like put alone, make sure it's the only thing you see. So isolate means if I isolate you in class, that means you're in trouble. I put you by yourself, right? So isolate means
or you look for one of the variable you're looking for, like y, x, or a,
exactly. Exactly. Just like we isolated a squared, a squared equals 25. Okay, so you've already kind of done this in a way. Okay, so we want to isolate the variable so all numbers are on one side of the equal sign and a variable is on the other side, so we can know what the variable means. Okay, so everything revolves around the equal sign. Okay, everything revolves around that. Okay, now I just gave you simple problems on this. I'm going to be giving y'all an assignment after this, then the next day after you watch this, to make sure we understand it, but it's really easy. You just have to think about the opposites. Okay, so where is my letter here, or my variable? Okay, we see B. Alright, so we want to isolate that and get it by itself. The only way I can move 15, because I need to get rid of 15, because I want all my variables on one side and all my numbers on another side. Okay, does it matter if variables over here and numbers over here? No. But in this case, my variables over here, so we'll just keep it. Okay, so I need variables on one side and numbers on the other. So how am I going to get rid of this 15? Okay, it's called a zero pair. Okay, so we need to remember we're going to zero pair it. Okay, it's not really math terms, but I call it, we're going to zero pair it. Okay, so what's the opposite of negative 15? 15, okay? Or we add 15 to both sides. Now, the reason I can get rid of negative 15 is because what's 15 minus 15? 0. So we're zero pairing it. So it becomes 0, so B is the only thing on this side. Now, in order to move it to the other side, I have to add 15 to both sides because it's balancing our equation, okay? Remember, like fractions, whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the denominator, whatever you do to the numerator, and vice versa. This is the same thing. This equal sign is like your middle ground. You have to do whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other to balance it. So then this would be what? 40. Okay, so B, I found out what B means. B really means 40. Now, if we plug it back in, 40 minus 15, does that equal 25 to check ourselves? Okay, it does. Okay, so that's what B really means, is 40. Okay? And some of these you can kind of do in your head, but I'm starting you out simple, and then we're going harder. Okay, so let's do this. I find my variable. Okay, so I want to isolate it, make sure it stays on one side and all my numbers on the other. So what am I going to do to positive 6? Minus 6, because it's its opposite. And so 6 minus 6 is 0, so I 0 pair it. Whatever I do to one side, I got to do to the other. So this would be, plus minus 6. Plus minus 6 is the same thing as subtracting 6. Y'all got to remember that. Okay, so I minus 6 from both sides. So what's 22 minus 6?
16.
Okay, 16. Very good. Okay, so does 16, replacing it for v plus 6 equal 22? Should. That's how we can check ourselves. Okay? Okay, easy. This one, I find my variable. I need to isolate it, make it by itself. So what do I do to negative 7? Add 7. Okay? Whatever I do to one side, that cancels that out. So x would equal, I got to add 7 over here. Now, integer rules, negative 22 plus 7, what do? We subtract and take the sign of the bigger number, right? So we know we're going to end up with a negative. So 22 minus 7 is?
Negative 15.
Okay, negative 15. Very good, Lucky. Okay, negative 15. So that's my answer. Okay. Now, is negative 15 minus 7 going to give me negative 22? Okay, this is also remembering your adding and subtracting rules with the integers, because you got to keep it, change it. So then if you have two alike, you add them and keep their sign. So think about if you're in debt $15 and then you spend $7 more, you're going to be in debt negative 22. Okay? Okay, we're almost done. We're just going to get to 7. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit harder. 6 and 7 are called two-step equation. Okay? These are called two-step equations. So after we get done with number 5, we're going to end up combining everything we just learned. But let's do number 4 so we know how to do it. Okay, what does this mean?
2 times w.
Okay, very good. This is called a what? Coefficient. Okay, coefficient always goes in front of my variable. So I found my variable. I need to make w by itself. Okay, so if I'm multiplying, what's the opposite of multiplying? Divide. So I have to divide 2 from each side. Okay, now y'all know fractions mean division. So 2 over 2 would really equal what? 1 whole. So that's why this kind of looks kind of weird, but you divide by 2 because that gives you 1w, which means the same thing as w. So what's 20 divided by 2?
10.
10. So w equals 10. Let's think about it in our head. Does 10 times 2, if we replace w, or 2 times 10, that's how it would look. Would that give you 20? Okay, so 10 equals w. Okay, very good. Okay, again, you can probably do this in your head, but we got to do it algebraically. So multiplying, so I divide. The opposite of multiplication here is division. So I divide by 3, which would give me 1. So it'd be 1q or q. In algebra, you don't put that 1 there, but you can if you want. But normally, Ms. DeHoe probably will have you not do that. Okay, 33 divided by 3 is?
11.
11, so q equals 11. Okay, easy. 3 times 11 gives you 33. Check yourself. Okay, now two-step.
That's easy.
Okay, it should be easy by now because, okay, so if we ignore this 2, wouldn't it be e plus 42 equals 22? Could we do that? Of course. Okay, if we ignore this plus 42, could we do 2e equals 22? Yeah, you should. So let's just go step by step. We always add, I know it's kind of the opposite of order of operations, but we get rid of our adding and subtracting before we worry about multiplication and division. Okay, so what would I do to 42 to get rid of it, to make a 0 pair?
Minus 42.
Very good, minus 42, so that goes away. So 22 minus 42 is going to give me a what?
Negative number.
It's going to give me a negative number. So 42 is bigger, so of course we're going to have negative. So 42 minus 22 is?
Negative 20.
Negative 20, very good. Okay, so I subtracted there. Okay, so now we have 2e equals negative 20. Okay, so this means multiply, so what's the opposite of multiplication?
Division.
Division, so this makes 1. So then I have e by itself. Whatever I do to one side, I got to balance it. So divide by 2. So negative 20 divided by 2 would equal?
Negative 10.
Negative 10, so smart. Okay, so e equals negative 10. Easy? Pretty easy.
Do it the other way too.
Yes, we're going to do this other one really fast. I think we got it. Okay, so now what do we get rid of first? Negative 5 or the 4 in front of the m?
Negative 5.
We get rid of minus 5 or negative 5, right? So what's the opposite of minus 5?
Negative 5. Add 5.
Add 5, right? Because the opposite, okay? So this makes 0 pair. Okay, I'm kind of running out of room. Okay, in order to move it to the other side of the equal sign, I got to, balance it. So what's 19 plus 5?
24.
Okay, very good. So 24. Sorry, I'm kind of running out of room. Okay, so now what's the opposite of multiplication?
Divide.
Divide. Make it a 1. So m would equal, okay, let me rewrite it over here. M would equal 24 divided by 4, because that's what I did to that side. So m would equal 6. Okay? Now do we understand how to move stuff around and isolate variables if we are given, if we want to know what E equals, then we need to isolate. If we want to know what M equals, we need to isolate, because on your Y equals MX plus B1, okay, I'm just going to write right here. I'm almost done, guys, and I'm talking too much. I'm almost done. Okay, so if you had one that said Y equals 2M plus 5, right? Okay, if it gives me what,
Variables you're looking for, you can find it.
yeah, any variable, okay? What if I give you what Y equals? I say Y equals, give me any number.
2.
Let's get a bigger number than 10.
20.
Okay, let's say 20. I was going to say 20. So if I gave you Y equals 20, you would plug in Y, okay? And then you wouldn't be confused. You would say, okay, well, if I'm trying to find what M is, I got to isolate it. So then, so minus 5, okay? Minus 5 would be 15. This might not come out evenly, but that's okay. Okay, so then I need to isolate by opposite of multiplication is division. Okay, so then M would equal 15 divided by 2 is 7.5 or 7 5/10 or 7 1/2. Okay, easy now? Okay, y'all are awesome.